في المكان ده.
يلا بسم الله.
Okay, so this about the oral cavity. The oral cavity is also divided into two parts. The outer, the space outside the teeth. Okay, that means between the cheek and between the teeth and between the lips and the teeth. Here, this is space. Okay, all around the teeth from outside. This is called vestibule. As I said, everywhere when you found vestibule, that means reception. Okay, this is the vestibule of the oral cavity. Okay, and here is oral cavity proper. Inside the teeth is called what? Oral cavity proper. Vestibule and oral cavity proper, they communicate behind the third molar teeth. يعني من ورا كده هناك كده لو دخلت صباعك هيكون في communication between the vestibule. Actually when you يعني masticate something بالذات البسكتس بيمشي يتجمع لك هناك between in this area here behind the third molar teeth. هتلقي في space communication between the vestibule of the oral cavity and oral cavity proper. Okay. طبعا we have the roof. The roof of the oral cavity is formed by the hard palate. Okay, it's formed by the hard palate. عندنا floor. والفلور mainly is formed by mylohyoid muscle here. Mylohyoid muscle is called diaphragma oris. diaphragm حاجز ماشي اسمها شنو؟ diaphragma oris. This is mylohyoid muscle. Okay. Then الفيتشرز اللي حنشوفها في الأورال cavity, you find this here, this narrowing here bounded by folds نقول عليها fauces. Okay, fauces أو isthmus. Okay, pharyngeal isthmus. المدخل الجزء الضيق اللي يدخلك على مين؟ على الفارنكس أو على الأوروفارنكس بالتحديد. تمام؟ It is bounded by the folds. This fold of mucous membrane overlying the muscles. Which muscle? Palatoglossus. The anterior one here is what? Palatoglossus muscle run in this fold. Okay. Behind their inner, يعني more posteriorly. No, you can bring that model, please. Bring that model. Yes. So this fold is for palatoglossus, and behind there is another fold covered by mucous membrane, is also for palatopharyngeus muscle. No, I need it. Yes, here. Yes. So, if you look here, this is inside. This is a muscle inside the fold. Okay, this is palatoglossus. Come from the palate, اللي هي palatine aponeurosis, and inserted to the side of the tongue. Inserted to the side of the tongue. This is palatoglossus. There is another one here behind, another fold, and this fold is palatopharyngeus fold. Also, it occupied by palatopharyngeus muscle. هناخدها مع الفارنكس إن شاء الله. Okay. So between the two folds here, we found the palatine tonsil. We found the palatine tonsil. Okay. On the floor of the oral cavity, as you see here, there is a small opening here in the mucous membrane, and those for the lingual salivary gland. Those small opening for the lingual salivary gland. Here, okay, this is for lingual salivary gland. Also here, this fold of mucous membrane is connect the floor of the oral cavity to the tongue, and this is called frenulum, lingual frenulum. تمام? There is another frenulum between the superior lip and inferior lip here. Also connect this to the gum, هنا ما ظاهرين، حسميهم ليبيال فرينيولم. اللي بتاعين اللبس حقول عليهم ليبيال فرينيولم، وبتاع الطنج حقول عليه شنو؟ lingual فرينيولم. At the side of the lingual frenulum there is two papillae, small papillae أقول عليهم caruncles, and this is for the opening of submandibular salivary gland. Opening for the duct of submandibular salivary gland. هنا ما واضحة معانا. Only you can see the elevation only. Okay. So on the floor of the oral cavity you can find two elevation. Okay. واحد للضغط بتاعت السبمانديبولار جلاند، والتاني لمين؟ للسب مانديبولار. اوكي، واحد للسب سبلينجوال والتاني للضغط بتاعت السب مانديبولار. اوكي، طبعا the tongue has dorsum surface and inferior surface. The dorsum of the tongue is divided by this sulcus here. It's called sulcus terminalis, it's V-shape, and also we have a ridge, longitudinal ridge. Divide the tongue into two symmetrical half, right and left. Okay, here is called tip of the tongue. This is a tip of the tongue. The part of the tongue anterior to the sulcus is called anterior two-third or oral part. The part behind the sulcus terminalis is called posterior part of the tongue or pharyngeal part because it located in the oropharynx. There is papillae, and most of the papillae you can see them by your naked eye, but the largest one are about 8 to 12 are located at the anterior portion or anterior to the sulcus terminali, and those called circumvallate papillae. circumvallate papillae. عندنا other types اللي هي الفوليات فانجيفورم والفيليفورم. يس واضح؟ لكن احنا اللي ظاهر معانا هنا في الموديل اللي هم السيركمفاليت only. Behind this we have a depression here. Okay, at the tip of the sulcus terminalis we have a depression, and this depression sometimes it can be open, and this is called foramen cecum، وعبارة عن الريمننت بتاعت الضغط بتاع مين؟ الثايرويد diverticulum or thyroid gland because it developed from this area. واضح؟ الكلام ده معانا الآن ما مهم، بس أعرفوا ليا السيركمفاليت والسيركس تيرمينالي واللونجيتودينال فيشر. اوكي، tip of the tongue. واضح؟ Then the muscle of the tongue. We have two group of muscle, extrinsic muscle and intrinsic muscle. Intrinsic muscle, they mainly change the shape of the tongue. Okay, mainly change the shape of the tongue اللي هو لما تعملي folding like this. Okay, or لما تقصر الtongue بتاعك لجوا أو تطلعيه لبرا يكون أطول elongation. And this is for what? Those the intrinsic muscle of the tongue. But the main muscle that move the tongue itself from its position, we have four muscles also. Those are extrinsic, two from above, platoglossus and styloglossus, and two from below. Those are genioglossus and hyoglossus. نشوف الموجود عندنا شنو هنا. Okay. In this model we have styloglossus. This is styloglossus muscle. Okay, this is styloglossus, and it comes to insert to the lateral side of the tongue. Okay, also we have here we have hyoglossus. This is hyoid bone. Okay, so this is hyoglossus. This is hyoglossus, also insert to the side of the tongue. And here is the genoglossus. The genoglossus actually form the bulk of the tongue. It is a fan-shaped muscle. This one is genoglossus. I'll show you in other section. It's very nice genoglossus muscle. This one. Okay, it is a fan-shaped muscle. So the genoglossus here. Hyoglossus. اوكي. ستايلوجلوسس. طبعا بلاتوجلوسس المفروض تنزل هنا من البالت. This is palate. We can't see it here because it is dirty. This is soft palate, صح؟ لو قدرتي صورت لي here, this in this fold here, just to separate. Yes, here. بلاتوجلوسس هنا من هنا لهنا. Okay. This blattoglossus on the lateral to the uvula. Here, as you see here, this is blattoglossus. This is blattoglossus. هنا موجودة inside this fold. Okay? And that is all. Thank you.